Hey, I have a second channel. Cube Compium TDX.
Hey everybody. So as you can hear, this dishwasher is making a funky sound. What you're hearing is the circulation pump. Sound like there's something stuck in it, making a grinding sound. So we're going to have to investigate what's going on with this thing. In order to do that, I'm going to have to cancel the cycle. Okay guys, so I didn't know exactly the button sequence to press on this thing to make it do a cancel and drain. So what I did, I just hit the power button to turn it off. Press the power button again and turn it back on, and I selected the normal cycle that I normally use and hit start. And the reason why I went and did that is because this thing automatically runs the drain pump and drains whatever water's in there before it starts a new cycle. So I use that to drain the dishwasher. And I've already pulled the dishes out, and I took the baskets out and set them over there. So next thing I need to do is I've shut off power. And luckily, when I did this home project, when I brought this home in, one of the things I did was I converted this dishwasher from being wired in to having a plug. So that's going to make getting this thing out a whole lot easier. So I'm going to pull this thing out, and we're going to set it on its side. Okay, everybody, so I got it pulled out of its cavity back there. And I got power shut off at the circuit breaker, and I got water shut off under the sink. And just FYI, when you go to turn this thing on its side, you're going to probably have some water dump out between the door. So have a towel ready. In my case, there wasn't a whole lot of water, but nonetheless, there was a little bit of water. So, alright, so this is the bottom side of the dishwasher. And we have this this compartment right here that needs to come off, and there's a screw right there we got to take out. So I'm going to go get everything we need. And we'll get this off there, see if we can get this thing fixed. Okay, so it appears there's just one screw. So take that screw out of there, and this piece should pop off. Okay, there's another one right there I didn't see. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it. Let's see. Okay, so also should keep in mind there is a sensor here you gotta unplug. There's just a little connector right here. It just should pop right loose. There we are. So this is for if the dishwasher has a leak of some sort. What this will do right here is if water collects in the bottom of this thing, it will put this thing to like emergency drain mode. And this, one thing that could cause that is if your water line leaks at the back. That happened to me one time when I when I was still working on the home. I pulled the dishwasher out, and lo and behold, apparently when they put this water line on here, they made it just tight enough to where it didn't leak until you actually moved the dishwasher out. Then I had a bit of a mess to deal with. So right here is the pump. At least that's one of them. So this is the main one. Obviously, it's bigger. So I'm thinking right in here is our problem, at least from what I've seen on YouTube. You know, the dishwasher I saw on YouTube was a little different than this. Apparently this right here is supposed to be able to twist and turn. It looks like that's in fact the case. Let's see. Yeah, it's actually turning. Or it did just a little bit. Okay, so apparently there's a little tab right there you gotta press down. At least I think anyway. Yep, I think. There we are. You press that tab down. Oh, and of course I got water. Great. And of course my towel is pinned under the front of the dishwasher because I was last using it there. Yeah, it's great. Get that back on there. Yeah, honestly I thought that this thing had drained a bit more, but apparently it wasn't the case. Alright, so yeah, get a towel. Okay, so get multiple towels when you're working on one of these. So that way you'll have a backup towel if your first towel you can't get to in time for whatever reason. So now I gotta try to get this water out here because I was intending on putting this back together and washing dishes tonight. Alright, so it seems like, I'm trying to fill up in here. If there's any piece of trash, you must be finding its way back to the, oh, there we are. So this little piece of plastic was causing our problem. It was, inside here making all sorts of racket. This is interesting. What this is a little bitty shaded pole motor. So at first it don't exactly look like a motor, but it's a motor. It's a little shaded pole motor. I will say that the plastic noise that I was hearing, the noise that I was hearing that I got on the video, as this thing was draining, I did hear whatever it was end up going into the drain pump. So okay, so this is in fact the drain pump. So I'm hoping that little piece of plastic, that little piece of stray plastic, was our culprit. So just check up inside here, feel around. So again, this here is a drain pump, and I'll explain why there was still a little bit of water in this thing. That's the thing is these things never really drain completely. It's like a wash machine, really. You always have a little bit of water inside the bottom of it. So let's get this water up and put this thing back together, and we shall see if that cured our problem. Yes, there wasn't much water that ended up in this thing, but the key thing is this one, make sure there's no water on the electrical parts. So at least we can say that if your Samsung dishwasher is making a noise like that, getting access to this little drain pump is not terribly difficult. I mean, it was 2 screws and using a flat blade screwdriver to pop loose some tabs. That was it. So, yeah, I don't feel anything else inside there. I feel a piece of rubber inside here. It must be like a rubber check valve that when the drain pump is like sucking on water, maybe. It's when it opens, because obviously this thing, you don't want to be draining water while it's running through a regular cycle. So I'm just checking here to make sure that, of course, the this pump is not locked up or anything, and it's not. So yeah, this is the pump, I believe, that is in charge of doing your typical. It's the one that runs when it's actually running through a wash cycle, and this other little pump down here is the one that drains. At least I think that's the case. So, all right, let's go ahead and let me check again. I mean, this little piece of insulation here is a little wet, but I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. Alright, so let's pop this thing back together. So again, that little tab right there, if you can see, there's a little tab right there you press down on, and that releases the pump motor assembly. And just make sure that we put this back on, that it gets a good tight seal, because you don't want it to leak. Last thing you need is leaks. You see right there, the little indentation. You just twist, and you heard it click into place, and bingo, it's back on. And I didn't disconnect the wires from this pump, so the wires are still connected. Just got to reconnect the sensor wire down here, and then snap this piece back on. And I'm going to safely assume that this residue down here was from the time that the water supply line leaked a little bit, because it somehow got inside the back of this thing. It was a mess. I mean, I've been running this dishwasher quite a bit. Now, it's just me, myself, and I, so not having to run it too awful much, but I think I've run it through probably a dozen cycles or so, and it's done fine. It just, the last cycle started making that noise, and I suspected it was probably a piece of material, stray material, getting stuck in the pump somewhere. So, let's pop that back on. Put those 2 screws back in. Thought that was back in already. It wasn't there. Just double check and feel around and make sure it's popped in all the way. So I should mention, I was telling you about that sensor. Again, the purpose of it is if it detects water inside this pan, it puts the dishwasher into emergency drain, and what it does, it just constantly runs and runs and runs the pump, the drain pump. So that way, in the case that it's, let's say, a bad seal inside the dishwasher, something inside the dishwasher, it leaks, it shuts it off and tries to prevent your floor from getting damaged from water. But if your water supply line leaks, there's nothing they can do about that. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tip this thing up. Try to get this cord back where it's supposed to go. which is easier said than done. So yeah, again, that little piece right there is causing our problems, I do think. Okay, so I went ahead and switched the breaker back on. And of course that's inside the dishwasher. So what I'm going to do now is turn on the water supply. And I already did turn it on a minute ago just to make sure there wasn't any leaks, but let's go ahead and turn it on, and didn't hear any water starting to flow. But so that drain pan on the dishwasher, it actually goes behind the dishwasher to collect any water that drips off of the water supply line to trigger the warning chime and activate emergency drain. So if your Samsung dishwasher starts making this noise, immediately shut off your water and investigate the problem. So what we'll do now is we'll reload the dishes back into this thing, and we're going to let it run through a cycle and see what we get. I'm betting this time it's going to work fine. At least I'm hoping anyway. So I don't even need to load soap into it because, or dishwashing liquid, because it's already still got it in it. It hadn't got to that part of the cycle just yet. So if you ever wonder why you load the liquid into a compartment on the dishwasher, that's why. And oh, should mention, not only you put it right there, but also you put some down here. That gives it some dishwashing liquid to use during the pre-rinse cycle. And put the second basket in there. Sure it comes out like it's supposed to. And, yep, perfect. So we'll go ahead and give this thing a try. Drain pump sounds fine. Okay, it's filling with water. Now's a good time to check for leaks. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the bottom of the dishwasher, it doesn't feel like it doesn't put enough water in it to like dump out the door. If there will be any leaks like on a door, they will most likely happen while the thing is running through a cycle, when it's slinging around water everywhere. Alright, so let it fill up and let's see how this thing sounds. Please let it sound like it's supposed to. I'm hoping there wasn't any other piece of plastic in there. Sounds better. Okay guys, that's how it's supposed to sound. No grinding noises, nothing like that. Okay everybody, so roughly 15 minutes into a wash cycle, well guess what? The noise returned. So apparently there's multiple pieces of stuff in there, pieces of plastic or whatever. So this time we're going to access the wash pump. I think as I called it, recirculation pump in the previous video. Just got to reposition the camera here because I couldn't quite get the door open all the way. Still got a few dishes there I got to get out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out both baskets. And before I go any further, let's go ahead and switch off power to it. And we'll just confirm that we did in fact select the right breaker. Yep. So what I gotta do now is gotta take out this plastic piece that's in there. It's supposed to snap out. The thing is, this dishwasher, I believe, was a scratch and dent special, because it has a heck of a dent inside the top of it. I mean, it's so much to the point that the topmost sprayer is actually a little crooked when it's actually installed inside this thing. So I imagine the people who bought this dishwasher when they renovated this kitchen, I guess in 2018 or whenever it was, they probably got a good deal on it because of that dent. Probably got a good little discount for being a scratching dent. So it doesn't really seem to affect the functionality of the appliance. I mean, it still gets the dishes clean, so I can't blame them for that actually. Alright, so it's supposed to snap right out. Yeah, it does. And then down inside here, I believe the entire thing is supposed to like turn. Something like that. Yeah, there we are. So we'll take this thing out. It'll be just a moment. Okay, so I went and popped this out. It just pulls out. It'll pop out when you give a little bit of effort on it. So it looks like yeah. Next thing we need to do is take off this cover. I think that's next in line. Should note there's a little arrow right there that points forward, so keep that in mind. Okay. Yeah, it's just a little bit grungy in there, not as bad as I kind of thought it was going to be. So, may be able to see. Right there is our impeller for the pump. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that off, and we should be able to lift this pump housing loose, and below that is kind of the chopper, or the equivalent of a garbage disposal. It's in there. Maybe that's where our piece of plastic is causing us problems. Let's see. Let me just look in here real quick, make sure there's no like hard foreign objects in here that could be causing problems. Not seeing anything. So apparently if the noise comes back, I'll just have to tear it back apart again. But you can see a process there of how this comes apart, so really it's going to have to put it back together and try this thing again and see how it does. Now, if there's anything mechanical in here that's making noise, then perhaps I'd have to may end up having to replace something here. Yeah, guys, that's interesting. So, yeah, that's kind of the whole deal right there. Yeah, throw this back together, and next time I put a load of dishes in, I'll see if it makes a noise again. Really, to be honest, that's the best thing I can do at this point. Okay, everybody, so I got the dishwasher back together, and I got it washing a load of dishes, and it's been sounding perfectly fine. No grinding noises, nothing of any concern. It sounds like it's supposed to. So if you have one of these and you're hearing noises out of it, like grinding sounds, you got, at least in this video, you got to see the two places to check. The drain pump from the bottom, as well as inside the dishwasher, accessing the vanes and the slicers for the wash pump. So if your dishwasher is making any kind of odd noise, now you know how to, or at least now you know what to look for. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.
Well, everybody, that wraps it up for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Keep Your channel, and be sure to tick that bell so you'll get notified when new videos are posted. Also, don't forget, I have a whole lot of other interesting videos here on the channel to check out. And also, in addition, I have a second channel, CubeCompMTDX, where I have all sorts of other videos not exactly related to technology. Links to the channels are available at the end of this video. Again, I thank you for your support, and thanks for watching this video.